In this video, we are going to see about the procedure for investigating the stability by using Nyquist criterion. Actually, so by using Nyquist criterion, we are going to find the stability of a closed loop system from the open loop response. The following procedure can be followed to investigate the stability of closed loop system from the knowledge of open loop system by using Nyquist stability criterion. So step 1. So we have to choose a Nyquist contour as shown in figure. So there are 3 figures which encloses the entire right half S-plane except the singular points. So singular point means, so this is the singular point. So it may be in origin or in the imaginary axis. So those points are singular points. In the figure 1, there is no singular point. In figure 2, only one singular point. It means one pole that is on the origin. In the figure 3, there are 3 singular points. It means one pole on the origin of the origin. Remaining 2 poles are on the imaginary axis. So this is the Nyquist contour. As I told, there is no pole on imaginary axis. This is the next Nyquist contour when one pole on the origin. This is the third Nyquist contour when 3 poles on the imaginary axis. It means 2 pole on the exactly imaginary axis, 1 pole is on the origin. So this is the step 1. So we have to draw like this. So this is the S-plane. So next step 2, the Nyquist contour should be mapped in the G of S H of S plane. It means actually these are all the possibilities of S-plane and marking the Nyquist contour. So we have to convert this corresponding S-plane into G of S H of S plane. So this is first case, second case, third case. So Nyquist contour should be mapped in the G of S into H of S plane using function G of S H of S to determine the encirclement -1 plus J0 point in the G of S H of S plane divided into 4 sections D C1, C2, C3, C4. Actually we see from this is C of 1, C of 2, C of 3, C of 4. It means, so this is the point from 0 to infinity. So this is the point from infinity to infinity. It means we can say radius is infinity, but angle we see, this is plus pi by 2, this is minus pi by 2. We know plus 90 minus 90. So we can have 4 parts. C1 part from 0 to infinity, then C2 part from plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2. It is a semicircle, its radius is infinity. Next third part is from infinity to 0. We can say minus infinity to 0. So then this is third part. Fourth part is 0 to 0. It means we can say radius r equal to 0, but it is also one semicircle. So we have to have 4 sections. Then step 3, in section C1, first we have to take the section C1. The value of omega varies from 0 to plus infinity. So as I already told, so this is the section 1, this is 0, this is plus infinity. So omega value, frequency 0 to plus infinity. The mapping of section C1 is obtained by, so from the G of S H of S, we have to put S equal to J omega. Then for omega we have to calculate 0 to infinity. So various value we have to calculate 0 to infinity. So we can say instead of S we have to put J omega, then omega equal to 0 to plus infinity. So therefore, so now the locus of G of J omega into H of J omega, as omega is varied from 0 to plus infinity, the G of S H of S contour in G of S H of S plane corresponding to the section C1 in S plane. Actually, for various value of omega, what value we are going to get for this G of S into S of H of S? So if we plot into the same graph like this, it is S plane, but that plane is called as G of S into H of S plane. So the locus is the polar plot of G of J omega into H of J omega. there are three ways of mapping the section of g of s into h of s contour. Actually, to convert S plane into G of S into H of S plane, there are three ways. So first way is from the given G of S into H of S equation. So we have to separate real and imaginary part. So then we have to equate the imaginary part equal to 0. Then we will get the phase crossover frequency. So we have to substitute that frequency into real part. So we will get the real value. That value is the nothing but the crossing point of the contour. Crossing point of the contour in G of S into H of S plane in the real axis. It may be in this point. Next way is, so we have to separate the magnitude and phase of G of j omega. Here we have separated real and imaginary part. Then we have equated imaginary part equal to 0. From that we have to calculate the omega. So for that omega is nothing but the phase crossover frequency. So if we calculate the real part for that phase crossover frequency, so that is the magnitude at which the contour will cross the real axis. So maybe here or here, the contour will cross the real axis. So this is the contour for S plane. But now we are talking about for G of S into H of S plane. So next procedure is separate the magnitude and phase of G of j omega, H of j omega. Equate the phase of G of j omega, H of j omega to minus 180 degree and solve for omega. So now this omega is also nothing but the phase crossover frequency. So now we have to substitute the omega into magnitude. So we will get the value that is also called as crossing point on the real axis. There are two ways to find the crossing points on the real axis, either by using this procedure or this procedure. So this is easier than this procedure. And next one is, so how we are going to find the Nyquist contour for different section. So for section 1, so this is the procedure to find the contour for section 1. Section 1 is from 0 to plus infinity. Next for section 2, plus infinity to minus infinity, but at the time radius is nothing but infinity. We see this is infinity, this is infinity. Therefore in the semicircle radius should be definitely infinity. Therefore to find the section C2, so we have to use this procedure. Actually we know for a circle or semicircle we can write e power j theta. R is radius. We know from this radius is infinity. Therefore for C to infinity. So for S we have to substitute limit R tends to infinity R into E of j omega in the G of S H of S and varying theta from plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Actually suppose there is a given system G of S equal to H of S equal to like this. It means here m number of poles, n number of zeros. So there is a pole on the origin. So we know always number of, this is number of zeros, this is number of poles. So we know number of poles are definitely greater than the number of zeros in a practical system. Therefore for R equal to infinity system, S equal to, we have to substitute S equal to R into e power j theta, because why we are substituting S equal to R into j e power j theta, because it is a semicircle. So we know radius also. So from this contour radius is infinity. Therefore radius infinity. Suppose, so when the radius is infinity, suppose if 1 plus st, if the pole is 1 plus st means, so we can say this part will be very very higher than 1. Therefore we can say instead of 1 we can consider st only. Therefore from this given system instead of 1 plus st, so we can substitute st alone. So all will become st, st1, s2, st2, st3, s square divided by s into ta into s into tb, s into tc. Therefore here s power m, s power m. So all time we can say constant. We see t1 into t3 into t1 into t2 into t3 into divided by ta into tb. We can say k1 equal to t1 t2 t3 divided by ta tb tc. So likewise it will continue. So we can say it is a constant k. Therefore k here, then 1, 2, 3. So we can say s power m. So here we can say s power n. So if we bring this s power m into denominator, it will become s power n minus m. So k1 divided by s power n minus 1. So that is the g of s into h of s value. So in the next step, what we have to do? So in the next step, so we have to substitute r equal to infinity. So we know in g of s into h of s, so we have to substitute s equal to limit r tends to infinity r into e power j theta. So we know the equation. So from this, so this is the g of s into h of s. So we have to substitute this for g of s into h of s. k1 divided by s power n minus m. So according to this term, s equal to this term. Therefore, instead of s, we have to substitute limit r tends to infinity r into e power j theta. Here infinity we have to substitute. So infinity into everything infinity. So we know k divided by infinity, anything divided by infinity equal to 0. Therefore 0 into e power minus j theta power n minus m. So from this, so if we take this plus into numerator, it will become minus. So we see here 0. So if we substitute theta equal to plus pi by 2, here minus j pi by 2 n minus m. If we substitute theta equal to minus pi by 2, we can say e power plus j pi by 2 n minus m. So from this what we can conclude? So for C2, so this is the C2 region. For C2, actually we for when S plane is plus pi by 2, g of s into h of s plane will have minus pi by 2. If it is minus pi by 2, that plane will have plus pi by 2. Therefore, from the above two equations, we can conclude that the section C of 2 of Nyquist contour in S plane is mapped as a circle or circular arc around origin with radius tending to 0 in g of s into h of s plane. So what we can conclude here, suppose we see for this radius is infinity for S plane, but we see according to this concept radius equal to 0, but this is plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2. Starting is minus pi by 2, ending is plus pi by 2. Therefore, for this equivalent is like this. It means radius equal to 0. So minus pi by 2 is the starting, plus pi by 2 is the ending. So therefore, for this in S plane, in g of s into h of s plane, it will be like this. Here r equal to infinity, here r equal to 0. Here plus pi by 2, here minus pi by 2. Here minus pi by 2, here plus pi by 2. It means here direction is and clockwise direction, but here direction is anti-clockwise direction. So this is the procedure how we have to draw the g of s into h of s plane for S plane, or converting S plane into g of s into h of S plane for C2 region. So next one is third region C3. It is minus infinity to plus infinity. It means we see minus infinity to 0. Here 0 to plus infinity. We can say it is a mirror image of this. This is 0 to plus infinity. This is minus infinity to 0. Therefore, it is a mirror image. So while converting this S plane into G of S plane, so what we will get in the G of S into H of S plane for this one? So if we draw exactly mirror image, means we will get the minus infinity to plus infinity. It means C of 3 region. So this is what mentioned here. For section C3, minus infinity to 0. So for S we have to mention J plus J omega. Omega equal to minus infinity to 0. So this inverse polar plot is given by the mirror image of the polar plot with respect to real axis. So next one is last section, this section. Here 0 to 0. So we can say our angle is minus pi by 2 here, because this is anti-clockwise direction. It is towards plus pi by 2, but radius is 0. So therefore minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Suppose if this is the given system, so we can say for radius 0 means here this st is very lesser than 1. So for this system we can approximately equal this 1 plus st into 1. Therefore we have to instead of 1 plus st we have to use 1. Therefore we will get k divided by sy alone. So we will get k divided by sy alone. Therefore k divided by here k divided by, here we can say k divided by sy, then s equal to this entire we have to substitute. So if we substitute this into s, we will get s power y, then we have to substitute s limit r tends to 0. So if we substitute here 0, what will happen? K divided by 0. It means if we take this e power into numerator, it will become e power minus j theta y. R will become k divided by 0. It is infinity. It means, so from this structure, if we substitute theta equal to minus pi by 2, it will become here plus pi by 2. If we substitute theta equal to plus pi by 2, it will become minus pi by 2. But radius is infinity. So from this what we can conclude. So when we see, so suppose this is the s-plane. In the s-plane, minus pi by 2 is starting, plus pi by 2 ending, anti-clockwise direction, its radius is 0. So while this is s-plane, suppose if we convert that s-plane into g of s into h of s plane, what we have to do? So here for minus pi by 2, starting is plus pi by 2. So this is the starting. So plus pi by 2. Next, for plus pi by 2, what is the, this is the end, plus pi by 2. Here in g of s into h of s plane, minus pi by 2. Therefore, this is the end. Then, what is the radius? Infinity. Therefore, this is the contour for s plane. This is the contour for g of s into s plane. But this is anti-clockwise direction. But it is minus pi by 2 plus pi. Here we see plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2. Plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2 for g of s into h of s plane. So therefore, plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2 means clockwise direction. So this is the contour, Nyquist contour in s plane. This is the Nyquist contour in g of s into h of s plane. So far we have constructed g of s, c1, c2, c3, c4. So for all g of s into h of s plane. So we have to plot all 4 sections into only one graph like this. So we will get the final g of s into h of s plane. We considered for this graph. Suppose if the given problem consists of one pole on the origin, two poles are on the, or number of poles are on the imaginary axis means, so we have to do like this. So first for section 1, so this is the section 1, 0 to plus omega 1. So 0 to plus omega 1, we can substitute s equal to j omega. For section C2, so its radius is 0, we know already, but it is from its angle is, this is minus pi by 2, this is plus pi by 2. Therefore minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. For semicircle we have to substitute like this. Here radius 0, therefore here we have to substitute radius 0. Next for C3, so this is the C3. So we know already omega value equal to plus omega 1 to plus infinity, plus omega 1 to plus infinity, s equal to j omega. Next C4, there is a semicircle, its radius is infinity. Therefore here infinity, it is plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Okay. Then for C5, this is the C5. Here minus omega equal to minus infinity to omega 1, minus infinity to omega 1, s equal to j omega. Next it is semicircle, but its radius is 0. Therefore we have to substitute radius equal to 0. But it is from this point to this point because anti-clockwise direction. Therefore minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Therefore minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So likewise we have to do for C7 and C8. Then after completing we have to connect all the sections. Finally we will get the g of s into h of s plane. So this is the procedure to construct a Nyquist plot or Nyquist contour to analyze the stability of a given system.